Belly fat is a symptom of menopause, and it's really frustrating, isn't it? And I had it. There are a number of reasons, and they're biological reasons, that you're accumulating belly fat. So it's not just about diet and exercise, but that is important. There are other aspects, and one really important one, and that's why I'm sat in my bedroom, is actually sleep. Would you believe it? We're gonna be talking about the 3 reasons why you can't get rid of belly fat. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you if you're a woman over 40 or like me over 50 to get in fantastic shape. But it's a real struggle, isn't it? Because you will find, and I found this, that it's really hard to lose belly fat. And so I'm going to talk about the 3 most common reasons why you can't lose belly fat and what you can do about it. Watch right until the end, because I'm going to talk about nutrition, and nutrition is absolutely key. You can incorporate everything I'm talking about, but if you don't do nutrition, it's just not going to work out for you. So the number 1 reason that you can't lose weight is actually to do with hormones. Your hormones, like estrogen, progesterone, and even testosterone, they're all depleting. Mine have actually depleted. I've got low levels of all of those hormones, and I do take hormone replacement therapy. I've made some videos about that, so I'm not going to talk about that today. That does help, but it doesn't necessarily actually help you lose weight. So you do need to do some stuff around managing your hormones. The first thing I'm going to talk about, which I talked about at the start, is sleep. I need to make sure I'm getting enough sleep. You need to make sure you're getting enough sleep. Why? Because if you're not getting enough sleep, what actually happens is that can cause hormones like your thyroid to go off, and your thyroid function actually controls your metabolism. If your thyroid is off, it's going to be a real struggle to lose weight. It's important that you get enough sleep. It's important for your female hormones. It's also important for a hormone called insulin, and that controls your blood sugar. And if you're not getting enough sleep, that can cause insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is a big problem. It's really prevalent in women over 40. It's prevalent in my community. So if you've got African heritage, Indian heritage, South American heritage, you have much more of a propensity to insulin resistance. But also, if you're over 40. So the chances are, if you're overweight or obese, you probably can assume that you've got insulin resistance. So it's really important to work on your sleep. As it happens, I've made a video all about just sleep. I'm going to link it up here. I'm also going to link it in the description. And I know it's really hard to get sleep, isn't it? You do need to work on it. It's not going to come easy, but since I've been working on my sleep, I do get a better night's sleep. So it's putting in place what's called sleep hygiene strategies. It's really going to work for you in terms of fat loss and losing belly fat. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is stress. If you're highly stressed, that's probably the reason you can't lose belly fat. And you're probably thinking, well, what is the connection between stress and belly fat? And it's very similar to sleep. So if you're stressed, you're probably not going to be getting enough sleep. Stress can cause all your hormones to go out of whack. It can cause insulin resistance, and it's going to affect your metabolism and make it really hard to lose weight. And the other side of it is if you're highly stressed, you're more likely going to store fat around your midsection, because it's going to be hard to control things like your blood sugar levels. You're also going to get cravings, food cravings, when you're stressed. We can find that we can actually really reach for the fatty, salty, high sugar foods, can't we, when we're stressed? So it's really important to get on top of your stress. That's using relaxation techniques, meditation and yoga are really fantastic. Taking time to work on yourself, taking time for you time, walking with nature can be really, really helpful. And if you need to, actually get some outside help. If you can afford it and your stress levels are really high, speak to somebody like a life coach or a therapist. The other thing that can really interfere with your hormones, so we're still talking about hormones and belly fat now and why you can't reduce belly fat, and that is your gut health. It's really important to get on top of your gut health. I always recommend, if you've got gut health issues, that you take a probiotic and what's called a prebiotic or a digestive enzyme, which you take with every meal. So that's really going to help with your digestion. Look at fermented foods or drinks, like kombucha is a fermented drink, sauerkraut is a fermented food, but there are loads of kind of fermented foods that really will help to kind of work on your digestion, and try to eat some sort of fermented food every single day. So the number 2 reason you can't get rid of belly fat is you're doing the wrong exercise. And I was doing this, so I was doing tons of running, and you know what, I was gaining weight around my midsection, and when I started to kind of losing weight, I was finding I was actually retaining fat as well around my midsection because I wasn't focusing on the right type of exercise. So you can actually do too much cardio. Cardio doesn't interfere with your hormones, but what it does is it actually wears away at your muscle. So you're going to find with too much strenuous cardio that if you do over around 30 minutes, you're going to actually reduce your muscle, and muscle is the thing that's going to help you burn fat, even your belly fat. So since I've been employing these kind of strategies for around about 6 years, I don't have a massive midsection. I've got a small midsection, which is a real change to what I look like, and I've managed to retain it. And that means not doing too much cardio activity. I know it's really tempting because that's what we've turned to in the past, but actually what's going to reduce your midsection is strength training, because actually kind of working your midsection anyway by doing lots of strength training. It's going to be working the muscles in your midsection, and it's going to be helping your body metabolize fat much more easily. When we're talking about cardio, I love high intensity interval training for short amounts, you know, minimum of 10 minutes, maximum of 30 minutes, 3 to 5 times a week. And then incorporate walking if you want to do more of that. And as I mentioned, it's actually going to reduce your stress levels. You can do as much walking as you like, and it's not going to reduce your muscle mass. Do that. I'm just about to go off for a walk in a minute, and I try to incorporate that as much as I can because it really complements strength training, and that's what you need to be doing, is incorporating strength training instead of tons of cardio. So strength training 3 or 4 times a week, it's really going to do wonders for getting rid of belly fat. I promised you at the start I was going to talk about the number 3 reason you can't get rid of belly fat, and that's nutrition. Nutrition is absolutely key to all of this, and if you can't get your nutrition right, you're just not going to reduce your midsection. So as well as looking after your gut health, you really need to cut down on the amount of sugar you're eating. I know that's hard because a lot of people at this time of life get incredible sugar cravings, and I've actually made a video all about how to reduce your sugar cravings and get on top of the sugar cravings. So I'm going to link it here, and I'm going to link it in the description, so do take a look at that. But the other thing is processed foods. They are not good for your belly fat, and they're going to mess with your hormone health as well. So you really need to be reducing or eliminating sugar and processed foods, because if you're eating lots of that, that is the reason why you can't get rid of belly fat. Now, the other thing in terms of nutrition that is absolutely key is making sure your protein is high enough. I have actually made a video all about protein. I'm going to link it here and I'm going to link it in the description. And it's kind of a step-by-step guide to how to incorporate enough protein. You should be including protein at every single meal and snack. You should be getting around about 1 gram of protein for every pound in your body weight, or if you weigh over 150 pounds, shoot for your goal body weight. And that is going to make a huge difference on your body composition, because it's going to help you burn more fat and it's going to help you build and retain muscle mass. So that's really key. And you know, it's not about going on really low calories. That's what I did, and I still retained fat around my midsection. You want to be going into a calorie deficit, yes, but thinking about 200 to 400 calories in deficit. I don't like any women to go much below 1300 calories. I did that and I didn't see success. What I saw success with was taking my calories higher but being consistent over a period of time, fueling my body correctly for things like strength training, which is really going to help with your midsection. But strength training doesn't work unless you fuel your body correctly. If you want to know more about how to calculate your calories, how to calculate your macros, which is your balance of your protein, carbohydrates and fats, I've made a video all about those things and I'm going to link it here and I'm going to link it in the description. Do let me know whether you're implementing all these things that I've talked about, or maybe you have found you were doing one of those 3 things wrong, or all 3 things wrong, which I think that's what I did initially. And let me know if you found this useful.